Hey guys, it's Bonnie from Mrs. Mom's Homeschool and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to make it all work. Finding a way to juggle being a parent, a homeschooler, if you have a business or a job outside of homeschooling, being a wife, being a mother, a chauffeur, and all the different hats that we wear being a homeschooling mother is quite a challenge. So today I'm going to share a couple of things and a couple of tips that help me to make it all work out. So this video is in collaboration and the host is Ingrid from Mama and Mia Homeschool Chronicles.
Me too.
And so check out the playlist in the description below.
Ow.
Ow! You okay?
Yeah.
For other videos and other tips
Bye.
from other moms who make it work. The first tip I have is to don't feel guilty when you have to allow your kids screen time in order to get done things that you need to do. Sometimes, especially if you have very little ones, you may need to cook a meal and they're clinging on to you, or you may, if you have a business or even a YouTube channel and you don't have anyone else that can entertain them for you, you need something to entertain them. And they sometimes get tired of playing and they just start, clinging on to you and calling you and asking for things, and you really need to get something done. So I find that it's okay to allow them to have the screen time or save their screen time. If you're one who limits screen time like I do, save that screen time for when you have things that you need to do. And then as they're having their screen time, you can prep your meal, or you can do your work, or whatever it is that you need to get done. My second tip is to assign your kids chores. Preferably ones that you don't like to do or ones that take away a lot of your time that are tedious. Because in doing that, it takes, like in my household, we are a family of 5 and we have 2 dogs, and it takes a lot of us to make a mess in this home. It's not just fair for just one person to clean up after everybody all day long. So I feel that I would constantly be cleaning up when my children didn't have any chores. I'm doing everything, and mommy's just doing everything for them. And chores also gives them responsibility, but they're also helping you and helping the household and doing their part. And when they have chores, they don't want to make a mess because they know that they're responsible for cleaning it up. So in our home, I have my daughter unloading and loading the dishwasher, and my son feeds the dogs. My kids let the dogs out. And so those are very helpful to me in the mornings to make my mornings go smoother. And then after school, we have like a 7-minute cleanup where everybody just goes around the house and tidies up the mess that they made throughout the day. Their toys or socks or shoes or anything that they have on the floor, their desks, and it really does help to have them clean up after themselves. My second tip is don't worry about the mess. Especially if you're a homeschool mom and your kids are home all day, the house will get messy. So normally I just try to, pick up little things here and there and have them cleaning up after themselves as they make the mess. But if they're playing and they're just having a good time after school, and we aren't expecting any guests, we just leave it until the evening, and then we can all clean up together. And that's when I'll do my tidying up. Don't mind that sound, but that's our alarm system. The battery's low and it keeps making a sound. Anyway, so yeah, don't worry about the mess. You're a homeschooling parent, you're a parent of little kids, and your kids are home all day and they're gonna make a mess, and it's okay. My next tip is, if you're a homeschooler, to focus on homeschooling as if it is a job. Put your phone away, put your books away if you're reading, or if there's other things that you're trying to get done, the laundry or house chores, and you have multiple children trying to homeschool. My advice is to leave all that stuff for later and focus on homeschooling as it is a full-time job where you're giving your kids the full attention that they need. Because when you start trying to do all these other things, the school day comes out a lot longer, and also you're not completely focused. You might get frustrated because your mind is all over the place and you're completely overwhelmed when you should just be focusing on teaching at that time. Next step is have a time during the day. Like you can use this for the kids screen time, or Have them doing some not one-on-one activities, solo activities, where they can go ahead and do either entertain each other, play together, or maybe play in their room for like 30 minutes or something, so that you can get that extra time in to do something that's important to you. Next tip is to plan your meals ahead of time and cook early. So if you're a meal planner, that's an amazing way to have your dinners prepped for you like ahead of time, and you just take it out and you just cook. And that's something I need to work on. But what I do is I do plan my menu for the week. So when I do grocery shopping, I buy all of the things that I need at the beginning of the week for that week, and I take out my meat in the morning and I know what I'm going to cook for the day. So things work out better when I actually cook dinner early. Like right after the kids are done school, I'll go ahead and cook early and get that out of the way. If I'm having company over, we're having a play date, or we're going somewhere, I'll put something in the slow cooker. But when I get back home, or when my guests leave, dinner's already made, and I don't have to worry about rushing in order to get done dinner and having a late dinner. Next tip is to set a routine, a nightly routine, and stick with it. And get your kids to bed early. So no matter how old your kids are, like, grown-ups need grown-up time. You need time with your spouse, you need time to just de-stress, you need time, just quiet time, just to think. Maybe you want to read, maybe you want to watch a show, maybe you just want to just do nothing, or maybe you have something important that you want to do. So it's important to me that my kids go to bed at an early bedtime, and that way I get my mommy time, because you know, you're only human and you need that downtime. To be with children all day, it gets tiring. Even though you love to be with them, you need a break. And instead of having a break on the weekend, you can have a break every night by having the kids go to bed a little bit early, so that you have a few hours at night to de-stress. Next tip is, if you're homeschooling, to be flexible in your homeschooling. Allow days that are, if you wake up in the morning and your daughter's just having a bad day, or you're not feeling good, or someone's sick, be flexible enough to be able to say, okay, we might just take today off, or we might do a half day today, or a light school day, or maybe we're going to take off the morning and go to the park and then come back home and feel better, and then, you know, do your homeschooling. I wouldn't be so strict on setting a time frame. School has to get done between this time, and this exact amount of work has to get done. So when I do my schedules, I don't set up page numbers of things I want to do. What I actually do is a block schedule. So we're trying to get those activities done during the day with a time frame. So if we have like language arts, I know that we're going to do 30 minutes of language arts a day, and that could be one lesson, it could be 2 lessons, it could be a half a lesson, depending on the lesson. So we do more like time frames, like 20 minutes of math, 10 minutes of handwriting, so that I'm not stuck to a certain amount of pages, and that I can actually be more flexible when things come up. The next tip I have is to create a schedule for your day, and I find this to be really helpful. Especially if you have multiple children or you have multiple activities going on, it's important, I think, to set like a tentative schedule. And I'm not one to follow time schedules, because I just more of a free person, and I like to kind of just go with my own flow. But when there are days when we have to be somewhere at a certain time, or we have to finish school early, or we have to start school late, those are the days that I need to follow a specific schedule. It also keeps the playing during school time down, because you have a way to keep the kids focused and to keep yourself on track. So I created a schedule for ourselves that will follow most days, especially if we're trying to get done early to do something else in the day. We do have those days where we know we're going to be home all day, and it doesn't matter what time we get done school. If we want to just be more relaxed with it, that's fine. But I do have a schedule for the days where I need to be done school at a certain time, because I need to be somewhere, or I really want to have a play date, or there's something fun going on, or I need to maybe work something on my business. And so it's important that you have a set schedule that you can follow when you need to. So another tip, in being that we have so much to do, like I said, being a mom and a teacher, and cleaning the house, and being a wife, and having play dates, and taking your kids to sports, and doing this and doing that, and appointments, and blah 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 blah, it's important that you have some mom time with other moms to, you know, to be able to just talk to another adult. So I'm not one who likes to go out on the weekends with other people that much. Like I prefer to do things during the day, and spend the weekends with my husband and my kids. But what I do like to do is have those play dates with other parents during the school week. So there's a time that we get done school early. We have play dates and we invite kids over here with their moms, or we'll go somewhere else, and that allows for me to have some adult talk time. It's kind of like me having a play date too, and I'm just using the kids, our kids and their kids, as an excuse to get together with my friends. But the kids are entertained and I'm entertained, and we're just having some downtime, and that's always a lot of fun, and it's good to have that time with other moms who are in the same boat as you. And my last and final tip is to stay positive. Keep your thoughts positive. Always be thankful and remember for all the blessings in your life. Don't get so bogged down on all the things that have to get done, but be grateful that you're able to do all those things, that you have those commitments. Even though sometimes life gets overwhelming, it seems like, oh, I have to do this and I have to do that. Be grateful that you have those opportunities to do those things, you know, and maybe it's a situation that is not too great. If you're taking care of a parent or doing something like that, at least they're still around right now, and at least you have that time with them. Because I've been in a situation like that where I had to care for my mother who was sick, and at the time it was very stressful. But when I look back now, I'm grateful to have had all that time with her. And sometimes when you're in the middle of a storm, it's very hard to see through those clouds, to see the blessing in it. But I urge you to make sure you try, when you're feeling overwhelmed, to be grateful for the reasons why you were overwhelmed. Maybe your kids are acting up too much today, but thank God they're with you, and they're alive, and they're healthy, and they're happy, and you have them, and you can homeschool them, you can be with them. You know, there's always something to be thankful for. And also thank God for your ability to be able to do it all. So those are my tips on how to do it all, or to attempt to. No parent is perfect, and it's always challenging, no matter how many tips you follow, to wear so many hats and being a homeschooling mom, or stay-at-home parent, or dad, or stay-at-home dad, or homeschooling dad. But those are my tips, and I hope that I was able to offer you some advice. And don't forget to check the description below. There is a playlist with a bunch of other moms who are doing this collaboration, and they have some different tips than I do. So maybe if you didn't find anything useful here, maybe you'll find something useful there. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and subscribe if you like more videos like this. And until then, we'll see you next time.